Hey, what's up? I'm John Clarence Stewart, and just um, sharing some writings because I can and I have time, and why not? This is a letter to my dad. It was right after I did this 54 Below show in New York last year, and my pops has been passed. He passed 14 years ago. It's crazy how grief works like that. In time. But yeah, sometimes it feels like whenever I have a moment of breakthrough or something to celebrate, it always comes with this other thing attached to it, this other layer, I guess. Yeah. So, anyway, after that, I took a moment and wrote down some thoughts. So, here it goes. Hey, Pop, I'm feeling the muse. Like something is making its way through me. I feel really sensitive right now, like really sensitive, like everything is affecting me. I'm trying to understand why and what that is. Sometimes there is no why, and what is just is. I did a performance at 54 Below in New York. I know you used to live up there back in the day. It was Studio 54 back when you were there, I believe. Maybe that's the place where that young woman lured you out and you got jumped by those guys and they had mercy on you as opposed to killing you. And they just took your stuff. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just a story that comes to mind now. I took a couple of months to put together a list of songs that resonate with me. I think you would have been really proud. The song that I dedicated to you, um, there's a one, there's a one, there's no way you would know it. Maybe the last part of it because it's Joni Mitchell, but you wouldn't know the Weepies. Band of white folks, two white people, a man and a woman, just beautifully heartbreaking storytellers. The song was The World Spins Madly On, and I dedicated it to you, Bobs, because it starts with I woke up, wish that I was dead, with an aching in my head. I lie motionless in bed. I thought of you and where you gone, and the world spins madly on. And that's it. Oh, that's the beginning. When you died, it was my entrance into the land of grief. And sometimes it's like you're living on in this plane, and then grief breaks this entire line of what should be, what it's supposed to be. And it's like you enter an upside down kind of world, and the grief is like the ache of trying to reach for what life used to be. And in time, you just realize you're never going to feel that again. Life will never be that way again. And you make this weird peace with a new reality. Sometimes it feels like being on the moon. Like I can be here and I can look at the moon and I can be here all day, all night long. I can look at the moon. I can know it's there. I can have my theories about it. I can read about it. I can watch movies about it. I can dream about it. But when you died, it was like I was on the moon. And And any kind of that trumped any kind of hypothetical, any kind of story that I'd heard or read or fiction that I dreamed up. I was on the moon and the world was just spinning and I was still on the moon. And then it's like when I got back to Earth, I realized that when I got back to Earth, there was a different kind of timbre to the people who had been on the moon like me. There was a different kind of understanding of mortality. And when I encountered people who had been on the moon, it was like I could smell them, I could taste them, I could touch them, I could hear them, I could feel them, and they me. And the thing is, at some point, we'll all encounter the moon. It's part of life. I just happened to encounter the moon when I was 19. I did a show at 54 Below. I dedicated it to you and Mom and John, little me. It was so beautiful and magical, Pop. And I know you were there. I was worried because I had friends who were helping me with it, and my accompanist, he had booked something else and he couldn't do it. But everything happened exactly as it should. My partner in crime, my co-alchemist with me was Daniel, and he was incredible. The whole time, the word that came to mind of what I wanted to make was something magical, magic, magic, magic. And we did that. We did that, Bob. And I felt you there. And on that last night, I invited other ancestors in the space, and they were all there. And it was perfect. And I was grateful. I'm so grateful. You saw her. That's Tosh. That's my girlfriend. She loves me very well, Pop. Is it forever? What is forever? Are you and Mom forever? Is forever past the plane of mortal? If love exists, if love is the only language we have to try to encapsulate this feeling of connection, of resonance, and is that forever? I was reading this or listening to this video a bit ago about our senses. And I've always thought this, but our senses, right? Everything in this world lives on a spectrum. My senses notice and pick up things on a spectrum, and that spectrum is affected by a lot of different things. But there are inevitably things on the spectrum that I cannot perceive. Take sight. I see things. I see colors. To my knowledge, I'm not colorblind. Because color blindness would be just what? It would mean that there are certain frequencies of things that my eyes can't pick up on. It's color blindness. But there are inevitably things that I am blind to, things that I cannot see, things that exist. And I think it's a really big shame to only rely on our senses, to think our curiosities are kind of invitations to the things that our senses, that are things that are beyond those, our senses or the spectrums that we perceive. Our curiosities give gateways, doorways, windows to other possibilities, our imaginations as well. So, forever. Yeah. And she loves me very, very, very well, Bob. And I hope to God I love her in the same way she loves me. This artist life is a thing, man. The ups and downs, the projected reality versus the reality. And sometimes I think I need to have more friends. You know? You're like, I don't know, man, like, I need to go through a rite of passage or something. Still feel like a little boy in some ways. And I hate to admit that. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing at manhood, that I'm not really there yet. Like I haven't proven it to myself. Yeah, I listened to this like Shia LaBeouf interview recently, and it landed on me, unfortunately or fortunately. Like I find so much of my value in my work and who I am as an artist. And maybe that is everything. But what about my life lived? What about the time in between the projects and work? And or is being an artist something I never turn off? Is just the way I am in the world? I just have so many questions. It's like the older I get, the more questions I have. But anyway, so I did this show at 54 Below, a compilation of songs, all that I believe in, that resonate with me. And I I was so afraid right before I cried with my vocal coach. And I thought, who am I to do this? Who am I? He said, "You're John fucking Clarence Stewart." I don't know why I said it that way because that's not the way it sounds, but he's Doug. I think you like him. I'm a spiritual person, Pop. I can't say that I'm religious, but I think that you understand that, you know. I get this thing, this like sense that you're like right across the plane of reality watching me, taking care of me, loving me, proud of me. I hope that. I still miss you. I still miss you. Still wish I could get a hug from my pop. A word of encouragement, a word of affirmation. But I know if I have eyes to see and ears to hear, you're doing it in so many ways, even if it's not the way that I'd like. So I'm going to keep singing. I'm going to keep dancing. I'm going to keep living. I'm going to keep making and creating and stepping into the fullness of John John. I think that'll be my service to this world. I love you. I did a show at 54 Below, a compilation of songs that I believe in, that resonate with me, that vibrate in the way that I want. And I know you were there. And I thank you. And I love you. I love you, Pop. Shanja. That's that.